So we've been captioning TV programming since the 70s so that hearing impaired people have a better viewing experience. The first show ever captioned, believe it or not, was The French Chef with Julia Child. This was open captioning. The text was on the screen for everybody to see. But what about closed captioning telecasts, which permitted only people with the right technology to see the captions and not the general viewer? I kid you not, the first closed caption broadcast was the original Son of Flubber, repackaged as a Wonderful World of Disney movie in 1980. Well, we've come a long way since Son of Flubber. 5 years ago, President Obama signed into law the 21st Century Communications and Video Accessibility Act, which was designed to increase access to modern communications to people with disabilities. One of the major points of the bill was to make closed captioning available on internet videos. That was easier said than done, though, because there are so many different internet video players, which means numerous captioning formats. But the folks we're honoring next were able to develop a standard that creates a powerful and flexible system for internet captioning. Let's take a look at how it works on a fine example of the best the internet videos have to offer, one of my own Pogues Basics tips from Yahoo Tech. If you work in the business world, you've probably come to dread conference calls. Not just because you have to listen to people drone on, but because it's such a pain to dial the conference numbers and the passcodes and all that stuff. I'm going to change your life. Meeting Mogul, a free app for Android and iPhone. At the time of the meeting, it pops up to notify you and then dials the entire number, including the passcode. All you have to do is sit back and wait for it to dial.
Welcome to conferencing at Yahoo, powered by... After the tone, please state your name followed by the pound sign.
David. You guys are all like, Emmy Schmemmy, what was that cool app? Anyway, this format has the catchy name of SMPTE 2052, and it has opened up the internet to people with impaired hearing, just as Julia Child did for TV back in 1972. Holding reign over the internet is a big job, so it stands to reason that we're honoring many companies and organizations for this breakthrough. First up, Netflix, accepting the Emmy. Back again on the same stage for another year is the Chief Product Officer of Netflix, Neil Hunt. How are you? Good to see you. Care for a statue? Can you check your email another time, Neil?
I can do that. I can do that. Good evening. And thank you very much. I hope there's not too many people depending on my sign language, because that's the extent of it. Fortunately, the tech team has accomplished captioning for the hard of hearing much more effectively than my sign language. So Netflix streamed about 12 billion hours of content in the fourth quarter of 2015, of which about 1 billion hours was same language captions, closed captions, of the form that we were seeing just now for the hearing impaired. An additional 500 million hours was subtitled for those who are language challenged or watching in another country. And in fact, as many of you have noticed, in the last week, we've launched Netflix in 130 additional countries. And so there's going to be no shortage of additional language, subtitling, making the world's content available to the whole globe, which is really very, very exciting. And the technology that a whole lot of people has built has really helped to make this happen. So to get to this point, a large team within and outside Netflix has contributed time, expertise, technologies, and not least the content or the translation or the subtitles and captions themselves. So I'd like to call out especially a handful of names. Glenn Adams, former chair of the W3C Time Text Markup Language Working Group, primary author of the specification. Craig Kuttner with the SMPTE Time Text Committee. And then within Netflix, Dave Ronka, and his team, some of whom are up here, who've worked on formats, ingest, validation, encoding, and delivery. Chris Fettner and his team, who've worked with the content suppliers to get the captions in a suitable format and to send them back when they're for the wrong episode and such things. Anthony Park and his team, who've successfully adapted these standards for use not just on web browsers, phones, tablets, but several thousand different smart TV applications, all of which, of course, are slightly different. And not just in Roman script, but also in Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Arabic, right to left, decorated, rubied, and all of the other things that make captioning and subtitling such an interesting challenge. And then finally, of course, I'd like to give thanks to the Emmy committee who's made the whole evening possible, who's recognized the achievement that all my colleagues have helped make happen here. So thank you very much. Thank you all.
Excellent. Congratulations. Thank you. Thanks, Neil. Nicely done. Actually, Netflix captions are so cool. You know why? Not only are they great, but you can turn them on and off with one click. Not going into settings, not pulling down a menu, just click on, click off. Our next honoree is HBO. Please welcome Craig Kuttner, Senior Vice President of Technology and Development of Standards for HBO. Congratulations.
Who in this room started working in this industry in vacation relief on summer? Lots of folks. So I never thought 44 years ago that I would be standing here saying I'd like to thank the Academy, but I do, and I will. And I'd also like to mention that I have lots of people to thank, and a couple of them are coming up shortly in the SMPTE group that I had the privilege of chairing. But I'd also like to reach out to HBO, because it took a very pioneering effort to do captioning first on HBO Go. It also took a pioneering effort to realize that captioning would require an industry effort. And Barbara Jaffe did that, and Diane Trineski continues that development. So I'd also like to thank HBO's Media and Production Operations Group that makes the captions every day, as well as Digital Products that integrates the clients into the products that you all use every day. Thank you.
Well done, sir. You can embed those captions into the video thanks to Telestream. Here to accept the Emmy statuette for that achievement is Sean Carnahan, the Chief Technology Officer for Telestream. Sean? Congrats.
Thank you. We're up here with a lot of well-known names, and you may not know, you certainly know who Netflix is, HBO. You may not know who Telestream is. You know, at Telestream, we think it's our job to try and address a lot of the challenges in creating and delivering content in our increasingly, IP-centric, file-based, multi-format, multi-screen, OTT, TV everywhere world. And our industry puts captioning very, very high on the priority list in terms of problems to solve. We're very proud to have been contributing to this particular solution. I wanted to take the opportunity here just to recognize the two people behind me who have been instrumental in leading the effort at Telestream on captioning. Jason Livingston and Giovanni Galvez. And we'd all like to sincerely thank the Academy for recognizing our contribution to this particular project. Thank you.
Well done. Nice job. Now we salute the standard setters. The Society of Moving Picture and Television Engineers formulated the standard for content providers and distributors. Accepting the Emmy is the Director of Standards and Engineering for SMPTE, Peter Symes. and his family. Here you go, Peter. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be asked to accept this award on behalf of SMPTE. It's a really important technology. It helps many people who are disadvantaged, and we're delighted to have been a part of it. Any standard takes a lot of work from a great number of people, but there's always a core team. Without those key players, or without any of them, it would not have happened. And I'd really like to recognize this evening Craig Kuttner from HBO, from whom you just heard, Anne-Marie Rohaley, and Mike Dolan, who were the key components in putting this together. But I also think it's important to recognize that there's cooperation in another respect here. When we were asked to perform this work, we looked around and found that the work already done by W3C made a good foundation. It wasn't adequate for what was needed. SMPTE worked on this, added a whole pile of enhancements and extensions to make it suitable for this purpose, and came up with the standard. Now, with some help from Ultraviolet, W3C is picking the work back up again to allow for wider application across the world. I think that's the way things should be. Not invented here, but real cooperation. That's the way it should be. SMPTE is very proud of its part in this, and thank you all very much.
Well done. Nicely done. Writing heard on the World Wide Web is a worldwide organization, the World Wide Web Consortium, known as W3C, that serves as a standards resource for people developing on the web. Please welcome the interaction domain lead for W3C, Philippe Lehargeret. Philippe?
Good evening. 366 million people worldwide have a disabling hearing loss, according to the World Health Organization. Our organization, the World Wide Web Consortium, known as W3C, is working on the technology standard to ensure that the web is accessible to everyone. This is one of the many areas we've been working on. Today, the web and TV have converged, and we are working on technologies to bridge the web and TV environments. W3C Time Text Markup Language Standard, called TTML, enables people who are deaf or are hard of hearing to understand the audio portion of the video content using captioning text. For international audiences, TTML enables subtitles, again, for the audio portion of the video content. So, on behalf of the World Wide Web Consortium, I would like to thank the Academy for recognizing the work of the W3C on the TTML standard. I would, of course, also like to thank the individuals of the TTML working group, some of whom are with me tonight, and the W3C Web Accessibility Initiative for their technical work to help make web video content more accessible to everyone around the world. Thank you.
Bien fait.